Let's get into this, y'all. I am excited about this review, but I am also just, I don't even know what the word is, but I'm shocked, I'm appalled. If you're wondering why I have this, I will explain later in the commentary and the review, but let me go back. Looking like Mary and Martha when they left Jesus' gravesite. Y'all know I gotta have my chai tea. And I lied, y'all. So that was not a macchiato caramel Starbucks cream. It was actually a white chocolate Starbucks cream. So my bad. But yeah, I have to have my chai tea because this episode it was definitely yeah. It was a lot. First of all, just want to real quickly thank everybody that has let me take this out my ear so I can actually hear myself. I want to thank everybody that took the time to took the time to watch the review. I really appreciate it. I'm new to this. I'm still learning. I'm still figuring some things out, but definitely appreciate everybody that, took time to review. So if you have not, if you're new, please like, comment, share, subscribe. If you didn't see or if you didn't catch the last review, it'll be up here. In one of these areas, I'll have a link. Again, I'm still learning, but this is what they be doing. So I'm going to do it too. So yeah, you can see the link, click the link over here or over there, or however I figure out the way it's supposed to be. It'll be there. So let's not further delay this latest episode of Grown in Gospel episode 2. And when I tell you, I mean, by the end of the episode, I ain't even gonna lie, y'all. A little tear came to my eye for a brief, but again, I'll go into that. But when I tell you I am right about Elijah, and when I say I like, if he was on fire, I probably wouldn't even spit on him. I wouldn't even spit on him if he was on fire. Because when I tell you the boy, he's not even a man, he's a boy at this point. Because some of the things he did in his episode, I just couldn't even believe. Like, who raised you, bro? Like, who raised you? So, the beginning of the episode, and I'm leaving the gym. Well, I just came from the gym, so I just look a mess in general. My beard ain't lined up. I got hair growing out of my cheeks. So, I look a mess right now. So, don't judge your boy, because trust and believe, when I get it together, I'm together, okay? So, don't judge me. Just let me be. Just let me be in my bum stage right now. And that's why I have a hat on too, because the hairline jacked up. Well, it ain't jacked up, but I just need to get together. I need to get like me. I need to get it together. But anywho, it's not about me. It's not about us. Ooh, hey, but it's about Jesus. So it starts off. The scene starts off with Tasha and Elisha, and so they meet up at this furniture store. Now, I don't know. I mean, I done been to a couple furniture stores in my lifetime, and this didn't look like your typical furniture store. And apparently, it was like a more vintage type of vintage shop or vintage store or something like that. And I felt like they sold more than just furniture. Like it was like Goodwill meets TJ Maxx meets your grandma's house. Like it had it had everything. It had everything, but not everything in the sense like, oh my God, like it was one of those places like you literally have to take your time, which anybody that thrifts knows what I'm talking about. You literally have to take your time, go through. I feel like I'm like not adjusted right. Hold on, y'all. Is that okay? No, that's. So maybe if I take the zoom out and move this. Oh, okay. Maybe I need to just lean in, boss, lean in. Back to what I was saying. So the vintage store, it's anybody that thrifts, they understand that one, it takes time. You have to know what you're looking for, and you have to be patient. You have to literally go in there, and you just have to look and look and look and look. And if you look good enough, you'll find a lot of good stuff. But the problem is you just have to look for it. Things ain't pieced together. Things aren't put together. You have to literally have a creative mind or just an eye to be able to envision something that may even look tacky the way it's presented, but you can see what it can be, Hold on. My lips is dry. Ugh. I can't be on here and my lips be dry, y'all, or chap. So yeah, so they went into this vintage store, and so and actually, I guess so. Bree, Bree doesn't have any furniture, and I was watching a someone else's review, and I didn't even really notice it, but she had mentioned that apparently there was like an air mattress. So when her parents went, or when her mother and brother came over to her house, there was like an air mattress or something. This is going to annoy the crap out of me. Maybe I need to scoot over. Well, dang, I gotta scoot over though. I don't want to get all just the hair. All right, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out this camera. I'm trying to figure it out. But anywho, so apparently somebody pointed out that Bree, she had an air mattress on the ground or on the floor when her brother and mom came, and I didn't even realize that. They go, Elijah and Tasha, they arrive at this furniture store, and so then Bree comes in, right? And so when Bree arrives, they're hugging and stuff like that, and then Bree says, I want to invite you all to a birthday party that I'm having. When Bree mentions about the birthday party, the first thing Tasha talks about is, well, girl, if you're going to have a birthday party, you can't be looking like basically how you came to Nikki's party. You need to dress a party. You need to come in. You need to own the room. Now, she's saying this all in her confessional, right? But of course, they just meeting and greeting and, hugging and out and all that stuff. But in her confessional, she's saying that Bree, the way her style is, it doesn't give someone who, I guess, trying to come into the music industry. It gives very plain Jane. According to Tasha, she said that it's giving very bank teller, great auntie, not auntie, great auntie. She said, and it looks like she just finished a pot of greens. Now, listen, y'all, I got an apron. She didn't come in with no apron. Why she sit there and say that child look like she just finished a pot of greens? The shade. So, and they were talking about how, if you from Detroit, you got style, everybody knows Detroit is big and everything we do is big and stuff, and the Gators. And I'm just looking like, in my most humble, is it humble or humble? In my most humble or humble, but I think it's humble opinion, y'all ain't looking like nothing. I mean, Tasha, you look good. I mean, your clothes and everything. I mean, it looks good, but it's just not like, where did she get that from? And so they mentioned about these furs. Everybody got a fur. Fur this, fur that, box this, box that, mink this, mink that. Well, I guess you would have an Eskimo coat if I was living somewhere that was 15 degrees below zero. I would have a mink coat, a fox coat, a fur coat, a cheetah coat, a leopard coat, a rabbit coat, all coats. I would have anything that got fur on it. I would have it because it's 15 degrees below. So you got to have it. Well, clearly when they filmed this, it was dead in the middle of winter, or dead in the beginning or middle of winter. But if you're familiar, let me give you a geography course right now. If you're familiar with where Detroit is, Detroit sits literally off is it Lake Erie? Yeah, I think Lake Erie or Lake Superior. Lake Erie or Lake Superior, I can't remember, but it sits off one of them Great Lakes. They get the lake effect and all of that stuff. Yeah, it's going to be cold. It's going to be a bunch of snow. I know this because I lived in Toledo. Toledo is literally only 45 minutes from Detroit. So, basically it was very similar weather because of the lake and the lake effect. So yeah, you're going to be walking around with 20-pound weighted coats. I digress. So they're talking about that. And so they go on, and then Bree, I guess Elijah pointed out a couch or whatnot, and Bree's like, okay, that's nice. What's the price? Like any sane person, like any normal American would do. What's the price? How much is it? They said it was $1,200. Now, I don't know if it was the couch that they showed on the screen or if it was a different couch, but the couch they showed on the screen, it literally looked like a leather futon. Like, that's what it looked like. It looked like a leather futon, something that literally you buy at Target for about $100. And it was just a basic, looked like just a futon. And so he said $1,200. She said, oh, what? Oh, no, up next. All right, that's out of my budget. So then Elisha goes on to talk about, well, Poor is a mentality. That's what he said. He said poor is a mentality. And you can't be in the mindset of you can't have this, can't have that, can't afford this, can't afford that. Sir, first of all, we still trying to figure out how you got the house that you got. How you filming from the house that you got. How you got the car that you got. Because again, we know you from a meme. Not if, correct me if I'm wrong, but you don't make money off of memes. Like memes aren't how you get money. I mean, maybe it is. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, y'all. But memes are not the way how you can get additional income. That's not the word. But yeah, memes is not the way. It's not the truth. And it's not the light. So therefore, we trying to figure out how you getting what you getting. But anywho, so he says all of this. And Bree is like, well, listen, my pockets ain't like that. I work a regular job. You know, I'm doing this show, but I literally moved here with nothing. Clearly, she moved here with nothing. And you know, it must really be a struggle. And I don't know, because again, she's married, and so she has a husband. She has a helpmate. But where is he at? Again, so this is the second episode, and he has not been. And I'm gonna get to that a little later too. But this is the second episode, and he has not appeared. And yeah, so, but I'm gonna get to that. So then, you know, Bree's like, yeah, I can't. So then Elijah decides to go and try to dress her up. And now, mind you, again, they're in the furniture store. Apparently the furniture store got coats, it got scarves, it got clothes, it got jeans, it got boots, it's your one-stop shop for thrifting at this store. And so Elijah's like, well, I just want to fix you up a little bit. So this man literally gets the nearest fox. So it was like a fur scarf, but it was actually a fox. And so he gets it. He's like, okay, take. And now she came in. She had a coat. Well, she had a jacket on, and she had a scarf, you know, wrapped around. And he's like trying to take it off. He's like, well, my mother-in-law gave me this, and I'm like, okay, well, they just trying to spruce you up, not necessarily change. Well, they trying to change you, but I could get what they're trying to do. They're trying to spruce up your look, but it still has to be true to the person. And that's what I think people fail to realize. Now, with the way social media is and everything like that, people crave authenticity, or authenticity is now becoming a bigger topic of conversation, and really being true. And because a lot of this stuff is for show. Like I said, I just came from the gym. Like I could have went and lined myself up, made sure I was all crisp and clean for this thing, but for what? Like, especially if I ain't sleeping with you, like, what am I doing this for? So, but anywho, so authenticity, like, it's okay to spruce up and stuff, but I still got to be true to me. And that's the part that Elijah is not realizing. Like, she's clearly doesn't do furs. She does not do furs. So, and she's from Detroit. So you would think if growing up there, if she wasn't doing it before, she definitely ain't gonna do it now. Like, so get the furs out your mind. Get the fur coats and the fur scarves out of your mind. So he tries to dress her up and stuff, and then he, you know, says, because he was like, give us a little model walk. So she gives a little cute little 1, 2, 3, and he's like, oh no, that's giving LSC, low self-esteem. I said, oh my gosh, why? Like, why? So now they didn't sat down, now they just chit-chatting, right? In the vintage furniture store / clothing store / TJ Maxx, they sitting, right? And so Bree asks Elijah the $1 million question that we all want to know. She says to Elijah, where did you come from? Now that's the card that Bree should have been pulling from the get-go. Because again, if you watch my first review, all of them have some type of connection to somebody important in the gospel industry. And Elijah, and I did watch the last episode, so they did say his mother's name and the pastor and all that stuff, but we don't know that woman. I've never heard of a church, don't even know. I couldn't point her out in a lineup. See, Bree, she has a humbleness about her, and I genuinely like that about anybody, but I really like that about Bree in this show, because yeah, she could go around talking about, yeah, I'm Fred Hammond's out, and that's what Elijah and even Tasha, like, that's what all of them want her to do, like to have this persona, like, yeah, I'm Fred Hammond's daughter, blah blah blah. People don't like that. Like, I don't like that. Maybe y'all do, but I certainly don't like that. So so she's like, you know, who are you? Like, how do you fit into this? Like, and so in her confession, she's like, because I know the gospel industry is small, but clearly I ain't never heard of this man. She pulled the Keke Palmer. Sorry to this man.
Sorry to this man.
So then Elijah, of course, he gets, you know, offended and in his feelings, because he's like, what do you mean? You don't know who I am. I am an artist. I am this. I am that. Sir, we don't know you. We don't know who you are. Okay? We don't know you. Tasha, you know, kind of chimed in, and because they was getting, you know, they were starting to go, not necessarily at it, but the conversation started to get a little heated. So, you know, Tasha then, you know, sits over by Bree to support her, quote unquote, give her support. But so then Tasha was just like, hey, I'm bringing in Elijah because he knows what he's doing. And do you trust me? She's like, do you trust me? Okay, so so then Bree's like, I trust you, but I don't trust him. I don't know him, and what he has presented has given me nothing but heartache, questions, and even maybe concern. Because again, some of the things you do, regular people don't do this. No, I'm spitting. Regular people don't do this. Okay, so something's up with him. But anywho. So yeah, Bree's like, well, I trust you. And Tasha's like, well, if you trust me, then trust the people that I'm trying to bring on board to help with you. I think Tasha's intentions are good, but clearly, and I'm going to get into this, clearly, you know something's wrong. Something ain't right in the water with Elisha. And I mean that in every sense. And you can take it how you want to take it. The next scene goes to Elijah in his rented house. Somebody said he's a prophet lie. Somebody said he's a prophet lie. Prophet lie. So it goes to Elijah in the rented house. I don't know if it's rented. It may be his. But I will say this. Again, 15 degrees below zero, and you want to come outside for a scene. You want to come outside in a robe with no t-shirt on, your bare chest out. Asking for, you know, black folks, ooh, you gonna get pneumonia if you go outside without no shirt on. But he had his bare chest out, your ashy ankles, yeah, I caught that, your ashy ankles, carrying a little mutt, a little dog. But if you notice in the background, it had like, I don't know if the house is under construction. It's not under construction, but under renovation. Again, this was in winter. So I don't know if it was part of the Christmas decorations, but it had blue tarp on the rails and on the balcony. There was blue tarp. And I said, well, ain't that a clash of a scene? First of all, you trying to come out like you doing something, like you missed the big shot, and you got blue tarp out. Like, I mean, you couldn't say, hey, let's take this down and then let's do this scene and let's just put it back up. No, you didn't do that. So he comes out, and again, I'm just, Elijah, I just cannot. So he's talking about this music video shoot that he has coming up. And so the music video shoot, you know, he's preparing now. He said, I'm the producer, I'm the director, and I'm the star of this music video that he is putting together. Then he says that I am a perfectionist, and, you know, it's hard for me to really work for people. I don't actually know if he said that, but he was just basically like, you know, if I'm not doing it, it's not going to be done right. If my hands isn't in it, it's not going to be done right. Again, he pulls up, he's ready to, you know, do his music video shoot. Mind you, this is a music video shoot. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I thought, you know, music video shoots, all you really doing is acting. Meaning you don't have to sing anything. Meaning there's going to be a song playing in the background, and all you need to do is just lip sync to it. You ain't even got to actually sing the voice. All you got to do is just talk the words with some power so that we see that vein, you know, pop out in them high notes. We see that vein pop out in that high note. That's what you're supposed to do in these music. That's what I thought. Now, I ain't no music, you know, I'm just telling you what I think, what I see. and what I've heard. And so he shows up. Nikki's there, Tasha's there, Bree's there, and so they walk in, y'all. Now they walk in again. It's a music video. Now I don't even know what the song is that the music video is for. What the theme? I don't even know what the theme was supposed to be. But all I know is that boy walked in. He seen them balloons. You would have thought that he just went back to being 5 years old and threw a whole temper tantrum. And I mean, like a 5-year-old kid. And not just saying, like, it's one thing to say, why is this like this? I don't like this. I don't like this. No, this man said, let me move my drink because I don't want to knock it out. He said, but these are balloons. Y'all, I'm not exaggerating. I can't exaggerate. Like, literally, this is what he did. He said, I said I don't want no balloon. So they had arches in but they had it was a balloon arch. And apparently the balloon arches were lining this red carpet, right? But then the girl was like, well, we moved them. He was like, why are the balloons here? He's like, well, we moved them so that it wouldn't be so noticeable. So he literally just lost his mind on the balloon. And yeah, I can't make this up, y'all. I cannot make this up. So let's see, what's the next part? So yeah, he started attacking the balloons. He started attacking them balloons. And so then he goes into the dressing room and they saying, you know, you need to calm down. Well, first of all, so after he attacked the balloons, you know, he's yelling, talking about it ain't supposed to be like this, blah, blah, blah. Tasha's like, you don't need to be screaming and yelling. You know, you got to save your voice. I thought this was a music video. I thought this was a music video. I didn't know this was a concert. Okay. So yeah, she's like, you need to be saving your voice. You can't be yelling, screaming. You know, you got to use your voice. You got to sing. Tasha, you was a really good friend. Now, mind you, in everybody's confessional, they are all saying, even when he arrived and was complaining about what it looked like and why it looked like this and that and the other, they all were saying how extra he is, how over the top he is, how dramatic he is, how he takes it and times it by 100. Like, he doesn't just give what's needed, but he gives way beyond what is needed. And so they were all talking about that in this confessional. So again, it's not just me, and clearly he has I think it's beyond an attention problem. I think he has a problem. Point blank and the purr, okay? I think he just has a problem. So, he's getting in the dressing room, and now he keeps talking about, you know, oh, I'm feeling lightheaded, and he's yelling at everybody. Now, mind you, the editing on this show it's a little lackluster. Carlos King is the producer of this show, right? Or EP, executive producer of this show. The editing ain't hitting right, son, but nonetheless, so yeah, he's yelling, telling everybody to get out the dressing room and yada, yada, yada. So he finally gets out on stage. And so then when he gets out on stage, he's talking about, you know, it's hot. You know, he has this 15-pound fur coat on. Don't understand why. Then he's talking about he got these leather pants on and, you know, the heat from the lights. And it's just, he's just getting light. It's hot. Next thing we know, boom, this man hits the floor. He falls out, and I mean falls out. And it was a pretty, I ain't gonna lie, it was a hard fall. It wasn't like Wendy Williams. She's okay, so I can laugh about it. But it wasn't like a Wendy Williams. It was like, you know, you definitely felt. But here's the thing. And he's like the boy that cries wolf because he is so dramatic, and because everything is so over the top, so extra, and it's not even that. they all weren't saying, "Oh my gosh, are you okay?" Like there wasn't even any urgency. At least that's the way it was shown. It didn't even look like there was any urgency to figure out what just happened or is he okay. They more so waiting for him because they like, this must be a part of the music video. This must be part of the music video. This man then passed out. This man then passed out. And so, you know, and not only did he just pass out. Now, mind you, they got it. So they had an ice bucket, you know, and that usually, you know, if you are overheated, stuff like that, you know, they'll put the ice on you and that kind of helps you come back, right? No, not Elijah. Nope, the ice wasn't good enough for Elijah. No, they had to call the paramedics for a little pass out, for a little faint. Now, I've fainted before in my lifetime. My sister has fainted before. Never in any of our situations have they had to call 911. No, they just said, okay, just take a deep breath, you know, wait, snap out of it, get him some water, give him something to, you know, give him something to drink. Maybe he's hot, he's overexerted himself, you know, give him some air, fan him, you know. I've never been rushed to the hospital. Not only was this man rushed to the hospital, they had to send this boy out on a stretcher. He had to brace, y'all. Let me see if I can, let's just reenact this real quick. He had the brace. I need a clip. Hold on, let's see. Okay, y'all. They had to put a neck brace on the man. They had to give the man oxygen. Matter of fact, hold your bill. Hold on. Don't y'all laugh, y'all, because I actually really do have sleep apnea, so this is really how I'd be going to sleep. But listen, your boy got to breathe. Oh shoot, my neck brace thing came out. Hold on. All right, so this my neck brace, y'all. They had to give the boy some oxygen. Now, mind you, they had a bag though for the oxygen, but y'all get the point. And he's just laid out straight. Just he just laid out like this. Laid out. And then he's saying, well, I still got to do the music video. I still got to sing, y'all. First of all you did was pass out because you probably didn't eat anything. You probably was dehydrated, and that's probably dehydrated because we don't believe that you was really. I don't even believe that this was you really passing out. This was just a scene for the show. That's all it was. It was just a scene for the show. So he's laid out. The ambulance had to bring the stretcher, bring the surfboard out, the orange surfboard, you know, move him to that, then put him on the stretcher. They wheeling this boy out. I don't even know if his hands crossed or not, but they wheeling him out. It's so funny because in the confessional, they was like, we was just waiting for them to bring out the machine to say, clear, clear. I mean, I can't make this stuff up, y'all. I can't make it up. I wish I was, but I'm not. So he goes to the hospital. So this is how petty the show is. 2 hours later, he comes back. He comes back, y'all. He enters in like this. Hold on. Mind you, he does have somebody escorting him. Now, he done left the hospital. Oh, wait, y'all can't even see me. Now, he has somebody escorting him. Probably his mother, I think. But he left the hospital. This is the part that I don't understand. He left the hospital, and this is what he comes back to the place where he was shooting the music video. This is how he comes back. And all I want to do is just say, why do you cry? Or better yet, actually, I want to sing Calvary. Calvary. That's what they. Y'all, I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. I'm really not, y'all. I promise you. I'm not. So, yes, he arrives, and then the first thing he's saying, well, I gotta do. Wait, in his voice, this is. well, I gotta do the music. I gotta do the music video. Boy, go on next. We not about to do we not about to do this. And then he said he had 6 IVs. Now anybody who has had an IV, now if you got to the hospital and then 2 hours later you arrived back, and then you talking about they had to give you 6 bags of IVs. Now, I know IVs, you know, it's just liquid, right? Liquid in the bag, full of electrolytes and minerals, and vitamin, all that stuff. Probably electrolytes and minerals. But you said you had to go through 6 bags, and you literally arrived back in 2 hours. Who knows how far the hospital was? I mean, I can imagine it wasn't that far, but 2 hours and 6 IV bags. I think I'm going to look it up. I am going to look it up. Let's look it up now, actually, while we are doing this. I can't believe I'm still on this scene. How long does it take to give an IV? Oops, spelled it right. It says here, let me screenshot just so that I can put this in here. It says IV therapy delivers water, amino acids, minerals, and vitamins at a controlled rate. The procedure typically lasts between 45 minutes to an hour. And this man said he got 6 bags. Come on now, the math ain't mathin'. The math ain't mathin'. Really, you was probably only at the hospital maybe an hour and 30 minutes, an hour and 45. I'll give you an hour and 45 because I want to be nice to you. It ain't making sense, y'all. It ain't making sense. But anywho, that was that scene. So yeah, it ended with him. It wrapped up like Martha and Mary at the site of Jesus' crucifixion. You know, asking, why do you cry? I mean, literally. On to the next scene. So Tasha, Jay Brooks, and Nikki, they all meet up at Dorinda's house, or Nikki's mama's house. And so they, start playing games. And, Jay Brooks, he brought up something about, because it is true in the church, like card games, dice games. Now, gambling, I think that is in the Word of God, but I will let the preachers and whoever else just argue about that. But as far as just doing card games, it is a stigma in the church, like, oh, you shouldn't the saints shouldn't play dice, or the saints shouldn't play card games or stuff. And I'm gonna tell you this right now, the Holt family, them jokers, and it's crazy because I know how to play, but I've never played with them. I'm actually kind of scared. I play on my phone. I compete with the computer, and that's about it. But the Holt family, when I tell you, the spades, listen, it's something real and it's something serious up in there. I mean, I can remember Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, anytime we had a get together, it was my grandpa, grandma, my dad, my mom, my Uncle Jay, like the whole family, they was into some spades. Now, it wasn't money on the table or nothing like that, but they still played the game. But, even just doing that, folks would, probably send us straight to hell, and they already trying to send us straight to hell. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother conversation. So, yeah, they were sitting there and just playing games and stuff. And so Tasha had brought up about, Bree coming back. So apparently Tasha, I left this out of my first review. So Bree and Jay Brooks used to date. It was a little boyfriend and girlfriend back in the day, back in the dizzy. She was bringing up about how, Bree doesn't want to accept, or Bree doesn't really want to change. And Bree keeps basically depending on her dad, or using her father's excuse, like, well, my daddy didn't do this for me, or my daddy didn't do that for me. And to their point, that part of it, yes, it is, like, you're 34 years old, Bree. Like, and that's what Jay Brooks was saying. Like, when you were 20, yes, I could see that. Even when you hit 25, I could still see you using that. But you are literally 11 years past, or 10 or 11 years past 25. So, love, why? I mean, you can't continue to use that as a crutch. And I thank God, I thank God that I have the mindset that I don't let whatever dictate what my plan is, what my future is, what my ambitions are, I can't talk. Is it ambitions? Ambitious. You're ambitious, but my ambitions. Yeah, I think that's it. So I don't let my life circumstance, my past circumstance, I don't let anything dictate the goals that I have in mind, the ambitions that I want to achieve and I want to set out and I want to accomplish. I don't let that dictate, because listen, first of all, I know, and not to go there, but the God that I serve, he said, all I got to do, he said, your gifts will make room for you, right? Whatever I have for you is for you. And there's no devil in hell that can stop that. There's no devil in hell that can deter that. If it's for you, it is for you. And one of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29:11, paraphrasing. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans for you to prosper and not to harm you. When I came across that scripture, when I tell you that has been my favorite scripture ever since, because it is so true. The plans that God has for me, I know they're meant for my good, even when I don't see it, even when I don't understand it, even when it may look crazy and like, oh my gosh, why am I in this? Why am I going through this? Why did this happen? Why did this, not go the way I wanted to go? It is all right and it is well with my soul, because I know that God has a plan for me. And I promise y'all, as a witness, I'm sorry that I'm going this way or this route, but as God is my witness, everything to the natural man, they would look at them and say, man, dang, boss, you've been hit hard, or dang, Paulie, I can't believe that happened to you, or I can't believe you had to go through that. When I tell you it has all, I'm sorry, I don't mean to go there. But when I tell you it has all worked out for my good, and I will leave that right there. So Bree keeps talking about, using her dad's excuse as to why she's not where she is. No, you're not where you are because you haven't put in the work. Another nugget for you guys. Faith without works is dead, right? And so if you have the faith that, this is what I want to do and this is what I want to achieve, that's one thing. But if you're not working towards that, if you ain't putting in the work towards that, it's not going to happen for you, okay? Your faith is dead. Your faith might as well just be dead. You don't even have faith if you're not putting in the work with it. And so again, whole nother conversation. Don't know why I went there, but clearly somebody needed to hear it. So send my offering. Go ahead and send. I will post my Cash App because I just gave y'all a whole good word on that note. But anywho, let's get on back to this. So apparently Bree has been married, divorced, and now remarried. So, and it looks like this remarried ain't gonna be too much longer if they don't want to show him on camera, or because apparently, I don't know, they might be living separately. So Bree lived in Kansas of all places. Who moves to Kansas? But apparently she was living in Kansas and she's been in LA, but she moved from Kansas back to Detroit. And so I don't know if her husband is still in Kansas. I don't know if her husband maybe was in LA. I don't know. I just want the man to appear. We want to see who this husband is, because this, first of all, and the reason why I'm asking is because all this stuff that Elijah's been doing, he needs to be checked. But y'all, I'm telling y'all, it gets worse. It gets worse. I'm not even on the tip of the iceberg yet, y'all. I ain't even at the tip yet. On to the next scene. So they introduced us to another person who I didn't even realize was going to be on the show. The previews didn't even show her, actually. So apparently there's another person in this fold of the show. And so we get introduced to a new character. Her name is Shayna Diane Wilson Williams. I'm only including the Diane part because Jay Brooks included when he met up with her. But Shayna Diane Wilson Williams and Jay Brooks, they meet at this little coffee shop or whatnot. So background on Shayna. Shayna is a praise and worship leader. Hallelujah. She is a gospel artist. Never heard of her. Don't know her music. Ain't heard a song of hers. Or maybe I have and I didn't know it was her. And she's a business owner, a mom. She is expecting and she is married. Hallelujah. I know him for myself. She is all of those wonderful things. And Shayna is she's really beautiful. And all the ladies on the cast are beautiful, but, and maybe it's because she's pregnant, so she just has an extra oomph, you know, with her glow. She meets up with Jay Brooks at this coffee shop. Apparently, there's a little rift in the fold because typical church drama. Allegedly, Shayna had went back, received some information from Tasha, right? From Tasha, allegedly. She received some information from Tasha concerning her marriage and stuff like that. And then Shayna went back and put it all in the streets, or put it all in the church folks, you know, in the church news, in the church gossip and all that stuff, you know. So that's what Shayna did. So apparently Tasha's husband got wind of it, because I guess somebody came to him maybe asking or talking about it, saying like, hey, yo, I heard this from Shayna, like, you know, this is yada 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 happening in your marriage. So who's calling me? Oh, so then so of course Tasha's husband, and that's a whole nother conversation on Tasha and her husband in that whole marriage. But anywho, so Tasha's husband came back to her and say, yo, why why Shayna going around telling, you know, our business, you know, to folks and all that stuff. So apparently, who's calling me? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I gotta call you back. You know, I'll tell you who you are, but I'll call you back. So apparently, yeah, so Shayna was going, you know, telling the church folks about what's happening in Tasha and her husband's marriage. So Tasha didn't like that. So Tasha's then basically ghosted, or not ghosted, but then cut her off, then cut Shayna off, and basically they ain't really cool no more. And so the discussion with Jay Brooks was, one, explaining the situation. And so according to Shayna, she said, yes, they did meet. Her and Tasha did meet, but the conversation that they had about the marriage was not nothing, because apparently Tasha had moved from Detroit when she got married, and then she moved back because there's issues in the marriage. I believe that's how it goes, or how it went. And so when she came back to Detroit, you know, her and Shayna, because they were good, you know, good friends and all that stuff, she basically was telling Shayna, like, yeah, you know, right now we just going through some stuff, but it wasn't nothing apparently deep or nothing like that, nothing worth her, I guess, sharing with other people, I guess, allegedly. But like I said, it came back to Tasha like, yo, you've been, you know, running the streets with classified information. And that's not okay. So they're beefing, and yeah, that's where their relationship stands. So Jay Brooks was like, you know, well, listen, I just want to, you know, mend, because, you know, Shayna is like a sister to him. Tasha is like a sister to him. Nikki, who apparently, so Nikki and Shayna, they've never had a rapport with each other. They just, you know, you just know of people. Like, there's plenty of people I go to church with that, you know, I know of them, but we ain't got there's no rapport. It's barely even a hello or praise the Lord. But again, another topic for another discussion. So, so yeah, they have, you know, they grew up with each other, or grew up, or families and all that stuff, but they themselves, Nikki and Shayna, do not have any type of rapport or connection. So, I guess they had met up. Shayna, Tasha, Nikki had all met up. Nikki was sort of trying to lay out what's going on and trying to set the stage for Tasha to express herself, which Tasha does not seem like the person that needs anybody to talk for her, speak for her, be her representative, her PR, her lawyer, her spokeswoman, none of that. So I could get why Shayna's like, you know, well, first of all, why this wasn't even called for. We didn't even need to meet like this. Tasha, you could have called me up on the phone and said, girl, why am I hearing this? And it could have been, you know, handled like that. But anywho, so so Shayna's a little hesitant, because she's just like, listen, I ain't trying to be ambushed. Now, what's that saying? Your side, their side, and then there's the truth. And so whatever that truth is, wherever it is, wherever it is, you know, they need to figure it out. And Jay Brooks wants them to figure it out. So moving on. Next thing was Elijah in the Nicole store talking about Brie, and, you know, how he wants to get her a gift and, you know, really spruce her up and stuff. And again, we just gonna skip through that because that wasn't nothing. the gang. So everybody meets up, and apparently, so there's, this is the scene for Bree's birthday party. So Elijah comes in. There's one girl there that's not a part of the group. It's just, random girl, probably somebody close to Bree. But when they arrived, first of all, the birthday party was at a church. Now, I'm not knocking, anything being held at a church, because God knows my church, we have held several special events, special occasions at the church. So, I mean, at this point, it might as well be a community hall, event space, an event hall at this point, as many things that have been there in our fellowship hall. But anywho, so they meet up. But here's the thing. He comes in, first of all, and I don't want to knock it. I'm just giving the review, Bree. So this is not against you. I'm just giving the review. But for an adult woman's birthday party, when I tell you, it looked like they had a budget of about $15. Yeah, a budget of about $15. They had the little sign on the wall with the letters, the individual cutout letter saying happy birthday. There were the leftover Party City tablecloths, plastic tablecloths. There was the, hats. And I think they had like the little paperweights with, I don't even know if the paperweights had balloons on them. I think they was probably just there as a centerpiece. But it was the paperweights that they normally have at the bottom of the balloon. And, like colorful plates. I mean, literally, that's all it was. So, I was just like, and especially after, going to Nikki's event, or I'm saying going like I went, but after seeing Nikki's event and then her birthday bash, birthday dinner, birthday party, whatever you want to call it, and then seeing Breeze, girl, I would have said, we didn't even have to film this. This can be cut all together. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to embarrass myself. We just going to not do a birthday scene. We can just do a birthday dinner. That's why I feel like they should have done. They should have just had a birthday dinner. But she had a little birthday. I don't even know if you even want to call it a birthday party. But anywho, so Elijah comes in first. And Elijah, of course, talking about, because it's just giving sad. He said it's giving great value, and not even great value, but value something. Because he said this isn't even Party City. This is value something. I don't remember what he said, but yeah, it definitely was giving Dollar Tree, and maybe less than that. So then Tasha and Nikki come in, which, by the way, so I was thinking that her name was Nicole. It's not. Her name is Nakia. They call her Nikki for short, but her actual name is Nakia Cole. And so just want to throw that correction out there. But anywho, so her and Tasha come in, and then Shayna comes in now, and I already told you that Shayna got a little rift and beef with Tasha, and of course the way they edited it was like, Shayna came in and said hi, and she didn't get nothing back, not a response. Tasha wasn't even paying her no mind. It was almost like she wasn't there, and I'm good at ignoring people and making you feel like, yeah, you don't even exist. I don't even see you. Like, what? I'm sorry, did you hear something? Like, it was giving that. And of course, Nikki, just kind of, sitting there, just, like, yeah. So, but again, I feel like that was editing, because I'm sure they spoke back. I'm sure they said hi back. But anywho, so then the guest of honor arrives, and, she comes in, and she's, just happy to see everybody and stuff. Now, here's my thing. Bree, if this is where you are from, and I don't know the history, but it's really making me feel like I need to dig deep a little bit. I feel like I need to go and do some research on Bree, Fred, and the family, because if you had a birthday party and none of your people showed up, not even your mom and the brother who you had invited, and I don't know when the timeline is, because things be out of order, but did nobody show up for you for your birthday? Like, and again, it was really the five of them: Bree, Jay, Nikki, Tasha, Elijah, Shayna. So it was the six of them. Then the one girl who they so shady, they put that she was the event planner. and Bree's friend. But her, and then there was one other random guy. So 6, 7, 8. So there was 8 people. Literally, you just hit gratuity. Like at a dinner, and that could have been a nice dinner, a nice, just a sit down dinner or whatnot, and let that be it. But instead, it was a birthday party at the church in the kids' room with a $15 budget, and that includes the cake. Oh, I didn't even talk about the cake, which ain't nothing wrong with a store-bought cake. Yeah, if it's good, it's good. But I mean, this cake did look a little sad. It was a chocolate, and it looked personal too. The cake was no bigger. Yeah. The cake was no bigger than this. It was no bigger than this. So, yeah. So, Bree was just like, thanking everybody for coming. And she appreciates the togetherness. And that's what it's about. Now, Bree proceeds to sing a song that I guess she's been working on. Or that's on her heart or something like that. Actually, let me do that one more time. So she begins to sing. Now, I ain't even going to try to even play Bree. When she started off, it was definitely a little shaky. And again, I can talk like this because, one, I don't claim to be anybody's singer. I am a choir director. I can, do harmony and things like that. And if I must, if ain't nobody else there to do it, then I can, lead a song and do what I got to do. But I do not like singing. I do like singing in the choir, but I do not like singing leads. I don't like, my nerves get to me, and I really hate doing it. I mean, I hate speaking in front of people in general, and people really don't believe me, but I literally be ready to have a heart attack, be ready to faint, be ready to pass out, be ready to throw up. Like, it'd be all of those things every single time. And so I work from home. It doesn't even matter that I work from home and like I don't even have my camera on. Just the fact that I have to talk and I know that there's people or a lot of people listening to me, my nerves, they just get real bad, y'all. They get real bad. And so I could sense that in the beginning when she first started, her nerves was definitely there. But as she, continued to sing, it wasn't terrible. It's like I said, it's better than Elijah. It was better than Elijah, and I feel like if she had music or something to accompany her, I feel like she maybe do got a really nice voice. But it started off with. It started off real shaky, love. But she started singing this song and stuff, and everybody in their commentary was just like, oh, she has a beautiful voice, and oh, it's like butter. But her presence, her stage presence isn't there, and she doesn't, own the crowd, or she doesn't sing like it's her last time singing, and I can get with that. I feel like that's a fair statement from everybody, including Elijah. I feel like that was a fair statement because you're right. If you want to do something, hey, you don't know who's listening. And listen, if I know this is going to be on national television, and if I know that my career is to be a singer, is to be someone who is in the entertainment as far as singing and vocal industry, then heck, so yeah, anytime the camera is rolling, I better make sure everything is on point, every note is on key, because you don't know who's watching, who's going to judge that. And I'm gonna tell you, just based off of that, again, same thing I said in the last review. You can click here or click there. But same thing I said in the last review. I wouldn't be buying your CD. Like, you ain't giving, like, no, I wouldn't be buying it. No, you don't even sound like somebody I would want to listen to. Not saying that she has a bad voice, but it's just not giving me like, oh no, I didn't feel anything out of that. I didn't feel anything. Nothing. Yada. Zip. So she proceeds to sing. So then she goes on and opens her gifts. And so she opens her gifts. So Big Baller Tasha comes in with this gold envelope, gives her, it looked like a couple hundreds of dollars. And I said, oh, wow. Because I didn't know that they were that close. And it was so funny because Jay Brooks was like, oh, wow, Tasha then came up off some money. And not just like a little $20, but like some Benjamins. So yeah, Tasha blessed her with some money, and you know what? And again, the humbleness in Bree that I have to acknowledge. I have to acknowledge her humbleness because apparently Bree is really going through some stuff, or she was going through some stuff, and apparently it's hard for her at this point. At that point in time, it was really hard, and I could, I'm very good at some people call it empathy, or what's the word? Gosh, when you can read people's energies, like in the spiritual, or in the church we call it spirit of discernment. In the world they call it auras or something. But I do have a spirit of discernment, and I could sense that was really needed. Like that actually was something that she really needed at the time. So it kind of just touched my heart, because I was just like, wow, even though she's filming this TV show, she really is being herself, and I have to give her credit for that. She is just being who she is. So then Elijah. So then he blesses her with some YSL, I think it's Eve Saint something. I don't know the brand, but I've seen the logo before. And so he blesses her with a pair of shoes, or a pair of boots. Now, mind you, he brings up the boots because in the very first scene of that episode, the first thing he commented on was like her grandma boots that she had on. They didn't actually show the boots, but apparently Elijah wasn't with it. He wasn't with the boots. So he bought her some, these boots or whatnot. And it was nice boots. I mean, the heel had the YSL logo on it or whatnot. Well, the heel was the YSL logo. So that was it was dope. It looked good. And she was like, oh yeah, I want to put these in right now. She was like, oh, I'm going to put these on right now. Elijah then proceeds to say, yeah, and take them dust buckets off. Oh, gosh. I mean, just, when I'm telling you, the pride before the fall, son, you are going to hit it real hard as this series comes on, or as people really see, I guess, you're going to take a really hard fall, son. A really hard fall. But anywho, so she proceeds to put on the boots and stuff like that, and so then they proceed to sing happy birthday to her. Now, here's the thing. They sing happy birthday to her. Why in the world does Elijah have a plate? Like, he literally they're singing happy birthday, but he has a plate on top of her head, and he's literally, like, you could tell he's pushing the plate on her. Not just like resting on there. No, it's literally like that. And so she eventually was like, you're pushing down my hair. Like, I know what you're trying to do. And Elijah is just commenting like, no, in his confession, he's like, I'm just trying to, I've really been trying to get Bree to see that she needs to do this and she needs to do that and she needs to undo this and undo that. And I'm just like, sir, who are you? Where did you come from? Who are you? Like, who are you? So they're eating the cake after they sing happy birthday. Elijah then sticks his finger in the cake to dollop up some chocolate icing on his finger, and then proceeds to put it in his mouth. So by that point, Bree has about had enough. Because it's just like, wow, like you would think that could nothing get worse, right? Could nothing get worse. So she pushes the cake back like, well, that's it for the cake now. Elijah then just decided to stick his whole finger in my cake. And I don't care if the cake was $2 from Dollar General. It was my cake, okay? And how dare you stick your nasty, don't know where your finger been, probably in somebody's, let me not say that, but probably has been in somebody's butthole, maybe your own butthole, and you want to take your finger and then stick it and dollop up some chocolate icing. The nerve. She's like, okay, well, there's the cake. I'm done with that. So now they're cleaning up, and Elisha does the ultimate disrespectful thing that you could really do to somebody without actually physically touching them, or maybe to me, because if you may like touching me is one thing. And then touching my stuff, that's like touching me. And so what he proceeds to do is he takes the boots that she arrived with. She took them off, put on the boots that he bought her. But he takes her boots, throws them in the trash with the stuff that he's gathering, like that's in the trash. So basically it was the lid of the cake. and he's like putting all of the plates, napkins, and like trash in the lid of the plate, but then he puts her boots in the trash. Her boots. He puts her boots in the trash. When she seen her boots in the trash that he was collecting, first of all, it broke my heart because she literally busted out crying like, "Oh my gosh, you just put my boots in the trash. Why would you do that?" And again, going back to why I really believe that she is so humble, and not just humble, but clearly she's going through some things, or she's having, I don't know if it's financial hardship or it's something going on. But the fact that you would take that girl stuff, it don't matter if it was designer or not designer, knockoff, brand, came from Dollar Tree, it's her stuff. And you took her belongings that she paid for. You took what she had and basically said, "You know what? You don't need this no more," and throw it in the trash. I mean, that to me, that's that. I mean, literally, that like it, that we would have been fighting. Let Elijah had to touch my stuff. I wish I was Bree in that moment. See, the older I'm getting, there's a couple things that you just not gonna do. One, you're not gonna talk to me any kind of way. You're not gonna talk to my family any kind of way. And for sure, you definitely not gonna treat my stuff any kind of way. So those three things right there, and you hit on any one of them points. You hit on any three. Okay? Look at my hands. You hit on any three of them points. I'm coming for you. Okay? I'm coming for you, and God is my witness. Okay, I am not a confrontational person. I am not a person that invokes anger or invokes messiness, drama. Like, that's just not me. I am very chill. I mind my business. One of my favorite sayings that I say, I mind the business that pays me. And if it ain't paying me, I don't care to hear it. I don't care to see it. I ain't got a dog in the race. I don't care. Okay. But those three things, and now that I am 30 years old, you're not gonna disrespect me. You're not gonna disrespect my family, and you're definitely not gonna disrespect my stuff. So, like I said, you touch any of those three things. Look at this camera. Look at my nail bed. But no, you touch any of those three things, I'm out. We going to bat. We going to war. So, he throws this stuff. If y'all could have just seen her reaction. And what makes it worse is that, like, Tasha and Jay Brooks, they low-key laughing about it, but in their confessionals, they're like, why would he do it? But while it's happening, the video is literally catching Tasha, per se, laughing, and you can hear Jay Brooks in the background like, wow, did he really, like, what? Like, instead of them checking Elijah, they telling Bree, don't be upset, Bree, don't be upset, but they should have been checking when I tell you, if I could have just jumped through that screen, I would have jumped through that screen. And I'm not even a fighter. Honestly, I don't even know if I can fight, but because I hold on to so much, and I have probably a lot of past stuff that I really need to work through. I need therapy, y'all. That's the God honest truth. I really do. I need therapy. But I promise it's probably meant that I have never been in a fight. I've never had to physically, like, fight somebody. And all of the opportunities that I could have went there with somebody, for whatever reason, because I would always say, if they just got one more time. And it seems like God always hears me, because he won't put no more on you than what you can bear, right? And I would always be at that point, like, they just got one more time. And it's only two. I think there's only two scenarios where like in high school. There was, well, and one scenario was in elementary, and then one was in high school. So I've only had two scenarios where literally I was at that point, and when I tell you, I was praying to God that they actually would do this one more time, because that's going to be the time that the whole world is going to see you can't touch Paul, you can't touch Boss, you can't touch Paul, you can't, don't do, because he, when I tell you, I wanted to, when it's like I said, it's meant to be that nobody has ever pushed me to that point, because I would probably dag near kill him, but maybe I shouldn't say that. But no, so Bree is upset, she is hurt, she is disgusted and angry, and so she gets her stuff. She's like, you know what, party's over, I'm done, I'm out of here, y'all, this is just disrespectful, the ultimate disrespect. Like, don't touch my stuff. You took and she made it clear that those were her favorite boots. Like, she really loved those kitten heel boots. She loved those boots, okay? And I ain't mad about it, Bree, but nobody, I felt like, came to her defense in the sense of checking Elijah. So she leaves out crying, and so then the next scene is her in the car, and she's she's sobbing. And I'm gonna tell you about these tears, y'all. Like, you don't really see a lot of people like eye or mascara and eye, all like, what is it, the eyeshadow or eye well, I guess is it eyeliner. So you don't really see people's eyeliner and mascara run anymore. Times have upgraded since then. You used to bleed black mud, but now, you can cry and still have your face all intact. However, when they went to the scene with her in the car after she left and, was sitting in the car, she turned that corner. When I tell you, it was nothing but mascara all around her eyes, and you could just see the runningness from it and stuff. And I was like, oh, this girl been in here bawling, like, and I'm not, and it makes sense. So Nikki and Tasha, of course, they're at the car with her, and so Bree is just basically trying to explain that she's been triggered. Ain't that the word for 2020? Triggered. So she says that she's triggered, and more so because of the relationship that she has with her dad, and just seeing a man just continue to say, in this case it was her looks, but I guess with her dad it's been like musically. So I guess Bree has done things that musically her dad is not in agreement with, or is always, providing, I don't know if it's negative feedback or constructive feedback, but it just seems to not ever be good enough for him. And to Fred's point, it probably is not, because he's Fred Hammond. And so if I'm going to listen to anybody, and that's my thing, if you're going to listen to anybody, listen to somebody who actually been there, done that, got the t-shirt, wrote a book, got an album, got Grammys. I don't know if he got Grammys, but he got Stella Awards, NCAAP Awards. He actually... Hello, he's Fred Hammond. So you should be taking on what he is trying to advise you of. You should be listening to what he is trying to advise you of. But again, I don't know if it's presented maybe in a way that she can receive it, because maybe it's not coming from a more constructive place, but more of a negative, just, negative Nancy type place. I don't know. But she was saying that, by Elijah always saying something about how she looked, always messing with her hair, always saying something about her shoes, and just her overall just look, she said it was very triggering. And the fact that he literally took her shoes and threw them in the trash, at that point, she had just had her breaking point. And again, I really felt bad, but more so, I'm really disappointed in the gang for not checking Elijah. Now, they didn't. I don't. If they did, they didn't air it. It wasn't in the episode. I can only talk about what I see. So again, Tasha, J. Brooks, Shayna, Nikki, if y'all were there, and if y'all checked that, ninja. I pray that y'all check that ninja, because I was about in my bed early this morning, about ready to jump through that TV screen and literally put these paws on him, okay? that was episode 2. That was a lot. A lot to unpack, and the thing is, it wasn't even a lot like of scenes, but it was just a lot of stuff happening in that one episode. And I must say, it was definitely a good watch. It was definitely a good watch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So the thing is, I had to I had to start and stop this thing several times because my camera was dying. Had a membership meeting at the church, and so I've had to come back to this thing about 3-4 times to try to finish this. So I appreciate you all. Please, 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 please comment, like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't watched the first review that I did of episode 1, the link will be one of these places. I'm still trying to figure it out. But until next time, I guess I will let you go. And yeah, be blessed.